How did you want to do an open?
I think that was the longest show ever.
Yeah, I think you're all right.
So it was pretty cool though.
How do we want to do an open? Internet? How should we do an open?
Yeah, how should we do an open internet? Tell us.
Oh wow, my chat room has like not existed anymore. Oh dear.
Bandwidth drop off?
It's probably my phone.
I have nothing. I've had nothing. Sorry.
Come on, chat room, you can do it. Come back. No.
Here, I think his still has.
I just need to hold my phone near a window or something. Oh, people are saying we should grow chocolate instead of coffee.
Oh, that's a good one too.
Yeah.
Can we grow a chocolate coffee?
No.
Well, I mean, I could try and
What?
do some
That's
GMO
not a
work.
thing.
What if we take Tim, sit him right here, like this, and then we just kind of go around, right? Because this is everyone that was on the show. So I'll just pull the camera out a pinch.
Sure.
Sure.
I'm gonna try to
What if I refresh the chat room? Will that work?
F yes.
Maybe? Oh, yeah, that worked. Okay. Wow. Who would have thought turning something on and off again would fix it?
Everyone in IT ever?
Woo, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Put Tim in his spacesuit laying across on the back.
Yeah. Did he not just cover how much he does not want to wear the spacesuit?
You know, I did bring it.
I'll wear it.
I don't think you'll fit, Stooge.
Yeah, they're kind
See,
of
I'd wear it, but I'd be like,
No, I think we're all right like this, right? So just
I
kind
can
of
bring it out if you guys want me to have it sit down here or anything.
It's not going to show up. I mean, the
Yeah,
camera's
yeah.
filled with people. All right.
Literal people.
and laptop screen.
Will you be able to hear me if I speak at this volume? Yeah, I'll wait for you to get back in the control room and give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. Plus, I talked to this fool about things and stuff.
And I'm over here.
Yes.
we
Yes.
should just use that.
Yes, we have to.
I like
We
that.
have to use that. And I'm sitting here.
Me. You'll say that, and then you'll say whatever you want right there. So I'll say, plus I talked to Tim Dodd,
Except
the
you
everyday
don't.
astronaut. What?
You
Oh, yeah, you don't do the
okay.
interview.
don't.
You're right. I don't. I'm sorry. I'm so used to doing that.
And I don't talk to Tim Dodd.
Neither do I.
Neither do I.
So you'll say, I talked to Tim Dodd about the everyday astronaut. You'll do whatever you want, right?
Backflip. I'm not good at them.
It'll be great. No dying.
There's plenty of room back there.
Don't be a dick. And Ben is always right. Those are the 5 rules.
Wait, there's 5 rules now?
No, there's
were
not 5 rules.
That was the 5.
3, sir.
No.
Is this a Monty Python joke?
Yes.
So I'll start with.
My whole life is a Monty Python joke.
I'll start with an epic. I'll start with an epic launch aboard. Jared, what news story do you want?
What were my news stories?
Hey, I only did comments.
I'll say water's erupting from Europa.
Dude, when you talk though, because we're all talking in this volume, you can't be talking like this volume.
It's an Australian thing.
It's like one effing sentence.
Sorry, us Americans were really loud.
All right. Well, you guys need to talk softer than me. I'm talking loud, so your mics will pick me up.
Sure,
So,
but the thing is like, I
understand.
I mean, I even
So
heard it when the 3 of us were talking.
I'll go, then Jared,
Okay.
then you, then Lisa. You'll say something like, I help recap comments from last week, right?
Wait, if this is just for the opening and I'm going to be in it for 30 seconds?
Not even that, yeah.
There he goes.
Well,
Take 1. Let's go.
but do you want to end on Tim?
Oh my gosh, does he have his helmet with him?
Probably.
the
Yeah,
full
he's got
thing.
the whole
I think he's
thing.
getting changed.
Oh yeah, Tim can say tomorrow begins right now.
Okay, that's not what I meant, but sure, that's fine.
I bet he's gonna totally get in the outfit.
Oh, I hear a
I can
flight
hear
suit getting
jingling.
put on.
That's
very
fine.
quickly.
Whatever you want is fine.
That doesn't sound.
Okay, what's the order?
I don't know.
Me, Jared, Carrie Ann, you, Tim, me.
How does that work?
I don't know.
Because if you go to Carrie Ann to say, I interview the everyday astronaut.
Right,
and then we
but
go
then
to
Lisa says
Stoj.
that she joins us for comments.
Oh,
Right. I did it in the order of the show.
Right.
gotcha. Cool. Gotcha. Sorry.
Chat room have any better ideas?
Yeah, any better ideas, chat room, or are we just gonna?
He'll be back in 20 minutes.
Chat room says make the internet great again. Oh dear.
We will next week, I hope.
Is that after the election? When is the election?
November.
November 8th.
Lasers.
Oh my gosh.
OMG.
Nice.
Okay.
Tomorrow begins right now.
Wait, is he going to be heard if he says anything?
You'll have to. So what we'll do? Do you
Oh, I
want?
see how close it and you can't understand anything I say.
That's what I'm saying.
No, that'd be great.
Well, I mean, will it be great?
Because
We can. Okay.
The look of disgust on Ben's face will fear me forever.
Yeah. 1 second. Say it again. Yeah. So here's
With
what,
the bass down.
Yeah, right. So it's gonna go me, Jared, Carrie, and Stoj, and you're gonna go. Tomorrow begins after Stoj.
Yeah.
She says something about comment something. You're gonna say tomorrow begins right now, as animated as you can, but as loud as you can and as muffled as you
As
can.
muffled. Yep. So I'll even close this so I potentially die.
No,
Don't
no.
do that.
Rule number one.
Rule number one.
No die.
No dying.
Don't die.
Okay. Yep. You're right. You're
All
right.
right. All right. Ready?
Yeah.
All right. Here's take one. Take number one. Take number one. Coming up, an epic launch abort.
Europa's erupting water.
I do an interview with the everyday astronaut.
We talk comments from last week's show.
Tomorrow begins. Run, run.
Oh my god.
Can you hear it?
Yeah, we'll wait.
Okay, that was Ben's level is okay, but everybody needs to come down just a little bit because he's gotta be loud.
Copy.
So he's like quiet, and then everybody.
Except for her.
Yeah, she was fine. So
Speak at that level.
your level's fine. Jared, your level and Carrie Ann's level need
We
to
have to
come
be
down a
quieter.
little bit.
Okay.
Remember, Jared, I need you to wait 2 beats. Like,
Yeah.
I'll say my thing.
Oh, yes, sir.
Because I've got a transition going right there. But after you, we don't need to do those beats anymore because we're coming back to the set. So you can just go boom, boom.
Okay.
Okay, we're recording?
Oh, Jesus.
Strapped in.
Wait. Hang on. What if you have it open the whole time, right? She says her thing and you go, tomorrow begins, boom, 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 right now, like that. That work?
Way better.
Yeah, okay, that's what we're gonna do.
And fairly quick with the right now.
Okay.
The animation was great.
I like the animation, but I like that noise, that boom, boom, and then like you're all muffled, and you'll have to probably scream it even louder. Because
Really?
it's still
Yeah.
muffled, right?
Yeah.
It's so muffled, but it'll come across as muffled. But I need
Right.
it. I need to hit those.
Just have some audio. from
Exactly.
that.
You got it. You got it. Yeah. Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
You ready? All right. This is number two. Coming up, Blue Origin's epic launch abort.
Europa erupts. Oh. I knew that was going to happen at some point.
You really should see a doctor about that. This is 3. This is 3. This is 3. Coming up, Blue Origin's epic launch abort.
Europa erupts water.
I do an interview with the everyday astronaut.
We talk comments from last week's show.
Tomorrow begins.
Right now.
Print!
Coming network. You heard him?
Print it!
That was awesome.
That was so good.
Very nice. Very nice.
That's great.
Very
Oh,
nice.
man.
That was worth putting the suit on.
That was.
All right,
Yeah,
that's what we
chat room
can.
likes it. Chat room likes it.
Yeah,
All right,
chat
you
room's
can
for
get
it.
back out of your suit if you want to.
Ta-da! freedom from
I
everything.
love your.
How long did it
stories
take you
on almost
how to like work out how to even do it?
Yeah, I didn't even tell the story about me almost.
Here, get back
Oh,
on set.
come back
Get
on
set.
screen.
But take it off first if you want to. Or
Well, I can take it off on set. How about that? A nice little.
So
Okay.
you want to
striptease.
trade? Once he does, so let's give back the microphone, and I'll just kind of walk back over here.
This is the sexy portion.
Oh.
It is after dark, so that should be
Oh,
okay.
Tim, take it off, please. Oh, baby. Oh yeah, just pull it right
Oh
off.
my God, stop.
No, I'm not Dave Maston.
I can't.
Thank you. Exactly. He says he's not Dave Maston. For those of you who didn't hear it, that's
Oh, that's good.
is an
he
important
coming
note. Dave Maston is coming.
Is Jared going to be in a cage?
Probably.
Yeah.
Jared will probably have to be caged up.
Is
Yeah.
everyone going to be in a cage?
Yeah.
Yeah, later on this month, I believe he's after Flight Club IO.
He's at the end of October.
Yeah.
Like, is October 28th a Saturday?
I think both Ben and I will have to be
I think so.
We're gonna Dave
October
comes on-
29th.
Yeah, we'll be on the air. We'll both be like this. We'll be like, "Hi, Dave."
I'm not even showing up that day.
Here,
going,
scoot over.
Dave?
Here, scoot
I
over
won't
here,
be
Ben.
here
so you
that
can
day.
get.
I'll be in Australia.
It's a good thing that there's plastic all
Waking
over
up
the.
at 2 a.m. to watch the show.
Dave.
Now though, so.
Here you go, have a mic.
Dave, I miss you.
Dave, let's go
Thank you.
camping.
Are you sure you're the quietest human?
No, I'll just be loud.
Right. I think.
Oh, actually, that's a good point. Give that back, Jared. Give up your microphone.
Haha,
That's right.
haha, you're the loud one. It's not just me.
Yep. That's me.
Yeah. Keep.
There you go.
Keep on keeping on.
Quiet human keeps the noisemaker.
Yeah. Well, I'm loud, so. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
We're showing off the tools. We have
I
tools.
don't know what he's doing.
and
What
it's
are you
not just
doing?
Ben.
I was waiting for that. Look at that. The set of tomorrow.
In pieces.
Tripper Eater.
Dexter.
How's my audio?
visits.
Dexter visits, yeah.
So that's
We are in fact creating our perfect kill room. Yeah, no, those are all. Oh, well, and the set. Apparently, we didn't turn that off when we moved that over there. Yeah, that's the beginning of the set.
That's just the curved wall background.
It's just the
Nothing
curved
more than
wall
the curved
background
wall, yeah.
of. But it'll be very, very cool once that's done.
I've built a wall.
Ah,
If you guys need help.
Actually,
that's hilarious.
hang on.
Still funny.
This
Yep.
is very meta.
We're all just
It is
hanging out.
very meta. We're on the TV that we're on.
Oh, that's really
I am
weird.
Yeah.
sorry.
This is exactly the set of tomorrow. This is exactly how it's going to work.
This is exactly how the
I
set
am
of
sorry
tomorrow's
that I
gonna
brought
work.
up a politician on the show. I feel like that's.
No.
I
No.
don't even remember it. No. Actually, we're not a 501c3 specifically so we can bring up politics and talk about it however we want.
So me mentioning a certain Mr. Rump. Well,
That's fine.
it's okay. Okay.
Look,
Drum.
the community of tomorrow is a cut above the rest, so they don't get into those weird like internet flame wars.
For those of you who
Yeah.
can't hear Ben, he's
Complimenting.
complimenting
Yeah.
the entire community of tomorrow,
Yes.
saying that our community, and they are, the tomorrow community is a cut above the rest. Every once in a great while, some troll manages to slip through, but
But the community doesn't feed the trolls, which is
No.
nice, right? So the trolls, they try,
yeah.
and the community's like, "Pfft, we're not that dumb, and they just don't feed them,
Yeah.
and the trolls get flustered and just go away.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, our citizens are awesome.
yeah.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
We got good people. Y'all are good people.
Yeah, why you're hanging out with us, I will never understand.
Although the YouTube chat sometimes goes a bit crazy.
What? Did I disable the YouTube chat for this one? Yeah.
I think you did. I think you did. Yeah.
Once
There
we
was a
have the
reason
YouTube
for that.
chat integrated into the main chat, we'll work on moderating YouTube, but until
Thanks.
we can have all of that integrated, I'm just going to shut it off.
Citizen Big Number, you're asking where we put Space Mike. He's still behind the cabinet there. That's where he lives. Yeah, no, so
No,
without
I
the...
thought we left him outside.
Right, we locked him out of the
Oh
house.
my god, someone needs to tell that story.
Like,
I'm
if
not
you're
sure
doing
that Mike would
I'm gonna-
appreciate me telling that story, honestly. I don't...
That's fair, we'll leave that to Mike.
Okay, if Mike wants to tell that story, Mike can tell that story. Ben is popping bubbles. Hopefully you can't actually hear that. Or maybe you can, who knows.
Oh, yeah,
man,
it's
I
so
really
up on
don't
the
like that
waveform.
sound.
So annoying.
Oh, it's like fingernails on chalkboard.
She hates that noise.
How do you hate that noise?
I don't know, but she
like-
really
I don't know,
does.
it's
I'm doing it slower just to aggravate you more.
Oh, make it stop.
It's a beautiful sound. The sound of childhood.
sound of childhood? Is that what you said?
So
Yeah,
you were
apparently I
telling
don't
a
have any
story about
kids.
how you almost died. I don't think we
Oh,
told
yeah.
it. I know
Oh,
it's
yeah.
on your blog, but I don't think you told it on air.
Yeah. Yeah. Are we? Is this the thing now? Are we doing stuff?
This
I
is
mean, we
just-
kind of do stuff. What are you talking
I
about?
mean, I didn't know if like this was like the official. I'm gonna take care.
Like the official After Dark?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is about as official After Dark as we get.
There's no such thing as-
This is really awesome, though.
Yeah. Look how beat up it is. It's from the airlines probably, or just me being a dumbo.
I like it.
So, fun story time, the internet. Hi, my name's Tim Dodd. I'm going to tell you a little story. Oh, switch cameras. The camera's over there. So,
Right? Weird, right? They just do that on you and they don't tell you. Except for the nice little red light, and then you're like, oh, that's my face filling up the screen. Cool.
I can put the binoculars aside too. maybe.
Probably.
But, so, here's the deal. The first thing I ever put this thing on, it did not come with an instruction manual. Believe it or not. I know.
mean,
That's
it
shocking.
might have been in Russian.
Yeah, it very well may have been. And so I forced the neck ring on. I got excited. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to put this stupid thing on.
Right.
I put the neck ring on, which is like sealed, and then clumsily put this on.
Uh-huh.
And here, I'll grab the neck ring so I can show the mechanics of this, because there's a two-step process here.
Sure.
Welcome to how to
This
put a
is definitely
spacesuit
more
on
of a- this is
tomorrow.
a flight. This isn't even a pressure suit.
There was a pressure liner in there. I cut it out. It was really hot and really heavy, and I was sick of carrying it around. So yeah, so now it's just like a jump, or it's just like a crappy work suit or something, you know. So okay, so this ring, you know, it comes on and then it locks like this, right?
Sure.
In order to get it unlocked, you can't just pull on it. You have to pull this little guy out, right?
Okay. Oh.
So I put this on, I latch it down, and the helmet was sealed, which also has a similar lock like that, where you have to pull this in order to
So
actually.
that's not just a handle. For those of you guys who can't really see
Yeah,
that,
I'm
it's
like-
actually more like a pin that you have to disengage,
Yep.
and then you can
and
pull out the
then
handle.
lock out, Yep. So the very first time I ever put this on,
Yeah, that is not inherently
I had it all sealed up, and not only that, but the tube had a little
cap on it.
cap in it.
So there's no way for you to breathe.
The air that needed
Was
to
there
reach
anybody
my
with
face,
you at
I
this
was
time?
alone. So the air that's supposed to hit my face to keep me alive, rule number 1,
Right? No dying.
was preventing me from living.
Right.
So
that's kind of a problem.
Luckily, I'm very, according to my blog, I'm very plucky, and I found a way to, and therefore I lived.
Wow.
While I regained enough of my while I kind
Consciousness and mobility.
This was a brief thing. This was probably like an 8-second ordeal.
That's
but
enough.
In my head, it was like 4 hours, and I'm already seeing my obituary, written up.
Right.
Idiot dies in spacesuit alone in living room.
Photon video is asking if you died.
Well, there's no way of knowing.
Space
is
Vogel
there?
is saying that would be a very silly way to die.
I would have been the Darwin recipient of the year.
That would have been
The Darwin
amazeballs.
Award
Yeah,
recipient,
for sure.
But would it have been?
I mean,
Always to die.
Like, let's think about this really quickly. Crazy man in Iowa buys Russian spacesuit, suffocates alone. Yeah, I kind of feel
Yeah.
like that's sort of an amazing story just in and of itself.
But I wouldn't have any kids or grandkids to pass it on to, and I'm the last Dodd in my family. That would have been tragic.
All right, so when are we getting kids? What's going on? Audrey,
I don't know.
poor thing. She's
We just
probably-
bought a house, so
Yeah,
isn't it
just
like you
barely.
get married, you buy a house, and then
Iowa?
kids in Iowa, and then
Like what,
kids
20 bucks
pop
for a
up.
house in Iowa?
It's about $20.
It's about $20 in Iowa. That's
Yep.
why you buy the houses
That's
in
why you buy
Iowa.
it. Yep.
Aren't you supposed to buy a farm? Yeah, you're supposed to buy a farm.
No, he already has a farm. He's got a
You
family
gotta grow
farm.
some corn and then you can have the kids.
Yeah, I had to grow the corn. That raises kids.
Right.
You know what I just found out? You guys want to know a little fun fact? No one thinks of Iowa as humid, but you guys from the Midwest will
Yeah.
probably know that it can be insanely humid.
Yeah, because
I
there's so
found
much
out
water there.
It's from the corn.
It's from the corn.
Corn.
I mean,
all the
Minnesota's like the
precipitation-
land of 10,000 lakes. Like, there's water
Yeah,
all everywhere.
You guys, we have like 4 lakes.
But it's only humid
And
during the summer. During the winter, it's whatever.
It's
not
dry.
humid is.
Super dry. Yes.
Yeah,
So
'cause-
it's that dry snow. Like,
No, it is though
It
because
is. It's
like
arid.
because I moved from the East Coast, so like New York area to Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
And the snow was completely different because I was used to the heavy, wet, slushy.
Yeah,
you didn't
yeah.
want to get it. You didn't want to shovel it because it
Yeah.
would break your back, kind of
Yep.
snow. And then in
It's like
Minnesota, you go,
Arctic. Yeah.
and then the whole thing goes away.
Yep.
Like you can't build a snowman in Minnesota because you go to pack the snow
Wait.
and it doesn't do
I'm
anything.
from Australia. What's snow?
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
No.
You'll never see it.
Whoa. Minnie, have you really never seen snow?
Only once, and that was because I was in Canada and it was last year.
Wow. What about you, Jared? You've seen snow, right? There's
I
snow in
was-
California.
Do
Yeah,
they
he
still
drives
have
to
the
snow.
big- Do they still have the snow machines at California?
Please don't die.
Rule number 1.
Yes.
One.
Rule number 1.
Rule
I was.
number 1, no dying. Rule number 2, don't be a joke. Rule number 5, Ben is always right.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Rule 4
there are
is
not
that there are
5
no
rules.
more rules. Rule 4, no more rules. There's no rule 5. That's it.
Whoa. Go for it.
No, you can't say no more rules.
Own it.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, number 4. The rule is there are no more rules after
Yeah.
number 4.
No,
Yeah.
I've been in snow before. It's just that I was driving back from Reno, and we stopped in the Mono Lake area, which is sort of in central northern California, and like the desert.
Yeah.
And it was the day after a blizzard, so I like ran through a field of snow, and I was like, "This is amazing!" 'Cause it was my first time ever. And then I didn't know that you're not supposed to wear shorts in snow.
Oh,
So-
yeah.
And
And like, if you pick it
yes,
up,
you
it
can.
like hurts your
So
fingers.
I ended up like getting wetter than coming out of a pool from that, and
Yep.
I was just like, "Ah, crap, this is not awesome." So,
And cold.
Yeah.
so I spent well, I didn't care about the cold because I was hungover, but, but you know, it was a really good time.
That was basically my first experience with snow as well. We moved from Florida to New York in the middle of winter.
Experience with snow.
I'm sorry?
It was your second experience with snow.
No, experience. When I was born, they didn't throw me out in the snow.
They should have.
It snowed the day I was born.
In Florida.
Mighty
In
good.
Florida, all the way
wear
down to the
shorts in the
Bahamas.
snow,
Look it up. Yes, I'm
have a
old.
bad
I can't help it with the shorts. I'm from California. I wear shorts all the time.
Yeah, you
What
can
is
wear
this?
shorts in the snow.
Well,
It's fine.
this is just because the internet has told me I have to wear pants. So here I am wearing pants.
Jared, we built a thing so you don't have to wear
A
pants.
short
I
scarf.
bought pants. Too late.
Because you ruined the other
Too late,
pants.
internet. Yeah, because I literally ripped my other pair of pants when I sat down a couple weeks ago.
It was
I
as
thought it was
annoying
from the- I
as
thought
a
it was from
stupid
the
floor
mental
now.
thought of Dave Maston.
Well, there's rip. Apparently, Tim Dodd listens to the Woody Show. This is good to know.
Rip in peace.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course, you wear shorts in the snow. That's totally fine.
Yeah, snow shorts.
I didn't have snow pants when we moved, and I was in the middle of the snow, and it was February, and so I just had jeans, and I put Ziploc bags on my feet, into the socks, into the shoes, because I had no snow gear. I had just moved from Florida, and I went out and played in the snow until I had this thing called frostbite that I did not know was also a thing.
Did you actually get frostbite?
It was definitely
technical?
on the
Have you ever heard of
verge.
frost nip? Have you ever heard of that?
Maybe that's what it was.
Nip.
Nope.
Yeah, I just had that for the first time where all of a sudden my hands were like in so much pain. And like swollen.
Yeah.
And it's like kind of the pre stages of
Yeah,
frostbite.
yeah,
didn't know
I
that's
started to get there, and
Yeah.
yeah, good times.
Yeah. Snow.
Because my parents figured like, oh, when she's cold, she'll come in, and that wasn't the case. I was like, this is amazing, and
I'm dumb.
Yeah, kind of.
Cold.
Right, it's just cold. I figured, oh, it's just cold. Like frostbite wasn't even a concept I was familiar with. I was like, why would it? It's just cold. It's fine.
Yeah.
Actually,
You just keep moving, and it's still
I
cold.
want to try to go camping in the snow this winter because I've
Yeah.
never done it before, and I have a proper tent to do it with now.
You
And
could
the
probably ask
correct-
Dave Maston all
and the
about that.
Correct sleeping bag equipment as well. too.
Nice.
So-
Hey, can I tell you guys a little behind the scenes secret fun fact?
Totes.
Speaking of camping.
Yes.
So part of my whole business plan, I got sponsored by a trailer company they're called Little Guy Trailers. And they make this little thing called the MyPod. Right?
Nice.
And it's
Okay.
very aerodynamic and sleek. I'm gonna turn it into like a space shuttle-ish, maybe like an IPT something. I'm just gonna kind of graphics it out, make it look super,
Yeah.
like flight ready with like hose, make it look legit.
Yeah.
And then pull it around, and the inside I'm gonna strip it down and put like gauge cluster in the front of it and everything. Then I'm gonna camp out in it and like do that when I eventually get a book going. Have that be like
it.
pull up to events with this little dumb trailer. And,
Totally.
yeah.
Oh my goodness,
I was
yes.
thinking about this. I was thinking I could have an option where I will deliver the book in person with the trailer for like X amount of money. Or
Yes.
Will you
you-
deliver to Australia?
Continental United States only.
You need a Toyota Tundra to pull that along because that is
Yes.
right. Yes,
Oh,
thank
because
you,
of
control
this
room.
Endeavor.
Gosh.
Hang on,
Endeavor.
does Garrett still have it?
Does Garrett still? I don't think it's his truck.
No, I thought they gave it to him or something.
Did they give Garrett? I don't know. Maybe.
That's
What the
funny.
Toyota?
Is it in the
Toyota
museum?
that pulled the Endeavour.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's at Endeavor with it. I remember one of my shifts on Endeavor, we had to wait for the stupid truck to pull Endeavor across the I don't know, were you there, Dutta, with me?
I'm
for
sorry,
that
are you
one?
complaining about
No.
a very tiny truck pulling a very large vehicle and how that took a long time?
Yeah, it
You
took
said-
forever.
You meant to say very large spaceship.
No, I did not mean to say spaceship. I meant vehicle.
Hypersonic
It's an
rocket glider.
orbital vehicle. So,
Hypersonic crude rocket glider.
sure, but whatever. That's brick.
Brick?
Yeah.
Well, I don't care. It has a 1-to-1 glide ratio at Mach 25. That works out. That works well for me.
But sincerely, that's what you're complaining about. Like it took a long time.
Yeah, it took forever for them to get the freaking thing across the bridge. But then again, it is Los Angeles, so it takes forever to get anywhere in West LA. So yeah, I suppose.
I'm really jealous.
Can't believe we waited 5 minutes for that setup. Yes, you're really jealous about what?
My friends at Spaceflight now, they got smart and they just rented a helicopter for like $150 and just like circled
Oh yeah,
the
totes.
whole day, just like watching it go. And I'm like, that was the smartest use of money and time that I could think of. Can you imagine? That would have been so cool.
Yeah, 1000%.
Yep, I was not around then.
It
Aww.
was cool to walk with the shuttle.
Aw.
Just want to say.
Yeah, Jared walked with the shuttle. Dutta walked with the
Yep,
shuttle.
Help move it.
My wedding ring has Space Shuttle Discovery flown titanium from Discovery
Nice.
riveted
nice.
in there.
How'd you
Aw,
manage that?
The
I just bought some
diva.
scrap.
Which one's your favorite shuttle?
I have to think it's Discovery now, just because I have it on my finger. Otherwise, Atlantis.
Wrong answer.
Atlantis?
Yes, because Atlantis is the correct answer.
I know. I've watched the show. I get
No.
it.
No.
Whatever.
Why? What's your favorite space shuttle, and why is it Atlantis?
Because
I
Ben
think that's your
Credible's
exact
a
quote.
dick,
I'm pretty sure that's pretty much word for word, verbatim.
right? It just
Yeah.
wanted to upset everybody. That's
Wait,
why.
so you're at STS 135's launch, right?
No,
No?
I watched it like live stream and cried in my living room.
Did you watch it on Space Vidcast?
I was
I think I was watching on through Gizmodo, whatever they streamed actually.
So probably Space Vidcast. No, I'm just kidding. I
We
don't.
restreamed through Twit. I don't remember if we did
Twit for
Gizmodo.
sure, but I don't know about Gizmodo.
I don't think we did Gizmodo. We did restreaming through
A bunch of people.
Really?
Yeah, restreamed us.
Huh.
Yeah.
Maybe I did. I don't know. I don't quite remember. It was either that or like NASA.gov or something.
Right.
I mean,
I had one opportunity to see a shuttle launch, so I drove from California to Florida at the end of October and the beginning of November for STS 135,
yeah.
the launch that took 3 months.
Yeah.
133.
Yeah.
Yeah, 133.
Hashtag.
For those of you who couldn't hear, Dutta is explaining how he tried to go to see STS 133 launch at the beginning of, beginning of October, or sorry, late October, early November. He drove all the way from California to Florida in order to see this launch when it didn't launch until, what was that, March? February? Yeah. He did
How long
not
did you
do the
stay out
Space
there for?
Nomad thing like Space Kate did. He stayed for about a week and a half and then,
What was it, Forever NASA tweet up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the one. That's not why I went, but
Yeah.
that's actually when I found Twitter.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Cool.
Isn't that
that's when you
funny?
found Twitter.
When you just think about that kind of stuff, like,
Yes.
wait, I didn't even have Facebook then or whatever.
Space
you know,
Tweet
like-
Society.
Actually, I was gonna say, me and Dutta actually met at a NASA social, so which was pretty cool. So
At Dryden there. Dryden,
yeah, Dryden.
Oh yeah, that's like, yeah. Yeah.
The first Dryden social.
Yeah.
The first Dryden
And I've
Social.
been to,
I was
been
at
to
the second
three
one.
of them. I went to the second JPL one, the first Dryden Social, and the first Goldstone Social, which was that was really fun out at Goldstone. So getting
Yeah, I
to see
bet.
all the dishes for the Deep Space Network, and then going into the control room for the 70-meter dish. That was like,
Could you turn up the amp and go, "Boom, boom, there's something here"?
no, I didn't do that.
Okay.
No.
That's the wrong network anyhow, but you should do that anytime you're
Yeah.
in
I couldn't do it because they were running Verizon. So, so
There was an ESA social just recently, well, in February in Australia this year, and I couldn't go. It's pretty bummed. It's the only time that anything ever happens in Australia.
Wait,
Yeah.
is Australia a member of ESA?
I wish Australia was a member of
So,
ESA.
Query, why was there an ESA social in Australia?
So one of ESA's tracking stations is in a town about 115 kilometres north of Perth in Western Australia, at a town called New Norcia.
70 miles, maybe.
Oh yeah, in miles? Yeah, I don't know what that is in miles. Sorry, Imperial
I
people.
know what she's saying. So.
Do not apologize for using metric on the show.
No, metric.
There
is
should
way
be a
better.
metric
It is.
only rule on this show.
Yeah, I'm into that.
But yeah, it was really cool, but I didn't get to go because I was doing a International Space University course. But hey, maybe they'll do another one next February. Who knows?
Life choices.
Life choices.
Hashtag life choices.
Can I talk about the first launch I ever went to?
Yeah.
I went down for CRS-3, otherwise known as Leaky Helium Man.
Yep.
And so that was my first time getting like credentialed and everything. So it was like my first launch. I was really excited, and it kept getting like, it was about 2 weeks before maybe got scrubbed, and so I canceled the flight. And then I was going to the airport like 3 weeks later, whatever.
Right.
Literally had my bags in my car, and then I found out, got a text, scrub. I'm like, okay, at least I didn't make it down there.
Right.
So then I finally get down there, everything's good. I'm like, woo, and we're gonna shoot on the VAB. I'm like 4 minutes away from getting on the bus to go to the
I love
VAB.
it.
And I had a pad camera and everything, and I'm all set up, ready to, and we're like an hour 40 or something from launch, and scrub, and I'm just like, no way. And so I couldn't risk like staying out there long. They were like, well, we'll try again in 3 days. And I was like, I can't do this. So I left my camera on the pad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and so I just had the other guys at Spaceflight. Now they replaced the batteries real quick for me when they were
Nice.
back out there. And then, so my camera saw the launch. But
That's
I
hilarious.
watched it from a coffee shop in Iowa. Yeah.
Wow.
So I still.
Watch it on Space VidCast.
Right.
But you know what's funny? That was my real gear turning moment though.
Yeah.
Is when we were setting up cameras and we're all looking at the Falcon 9, and they're going, yeah, they put landing legs on this, and I'm like, what? They're gonna try to land this, and other people, I'm not gonna name any names, but people are going, oh, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard,
Right.
and they're like in disbelief that they're trying something that stupid and
Yeah.
wasting their time and energy. And I thought I'm like, that sounds like the most 21st century thing we could be doing right now.
Right.
And that is what got me excited. I was like, yes, that is new. It's not from 1960, and it sounds like a modern spaceship. I'm excited now. That kind of did it for me.
Interesting.
So good job, CRS-3.
Yay.
Leaky helium,
What was the first launch you actually got to see in person?
It was a Delta 2. Actually, I saw Delta 2 out here at Vandenberg, OGO2. But I didn't actually get to see it with my eyes because it's Vandenberg.
Right.
Vandenfog.
Yeah.
Okay, what is the first thing you've actually seen?
Physically seen with my line of sight was EFT1.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was my first where my eyeballs could watch the rocket do its thing, was EFT1. So, yeah.
Nice.
And that was great.
I forgot, was that on a heavy or was that just?
That was a
Delta
heavy.
4
For heavy, yeah.
That's a good one to watch.
It was fun.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite spaceflight picture that I've taken was from that because everyone wanted to set up cameras remotely at the Apollo 1 site, you know?
Right, of course.
And so they all went to the tripod. There's a big, there's a milk stool there, kind of.
Yep.
And so everyone set up cameras around that, but it wasn't framing it. It was just this big, tall legs, and it didn't frame up the actual, whatever complex LC, whatever it is, 37 or something.
37.
So I'm kind of walking around, and there's a big wall with just a nice square in it from, on that pad. And so I lined my camera up nice and tight, got it looks like a window.
Yeah.
And you get to see through it's just cool because you see the test site for the Apollo mission, and then seeing into the test flight for Orion.
Right.
It's just and I
Very
was so surprised that everyone wanted that milk stool. And I'm like, the milk stool, I think they're trying to get a shot going through the middle
Right.
of it or something, up to the top circle. And I don't think any of them ever worked out because it was really foggy too. That went into the clouds in 10 seconds or something. So I think all those ideas kind of fell through. But
Interesting.
yeah, I kind of lucked out on that one then.
That's very cool.
Learn some dumb space trivia?
Yes.
It's not LC-37, it's SLC-37.
Oh yeah, Space Launch Complex 37 because it's on the Air Force Base. Is that correct? But as opposed to being on the space,
NASA.
as opposed to being on Kennedy.
So it's LC-39,
Space Center.
A, B, and C.
Yep.
Although C was never built. Well, that's not true at all.
You just realized that I'm just saying that because they can't hear you.
All right, all right.
Okay.
So, all right, I'm going to nerd space trivia.
Come on over.
For a moment.
Yeah.
All right. So on the NASA side, we've got Launch Complex 39A, 39B, and 39C. 39A was never built. It was the northmost complex. No, 39A was never built. They built B and C, but then back in the shuttle era, was it 7? I don't remember. Maybe it was Apollo era. They determined they were never going to build A, so they renamed B and C to A and B. But they still have that land up there where that complex is supposed to be, and now they may actually build it, but they're renaming it C. So technically, LC-39C is actually 39A because it's supposed to go north to south. Okay. Then there's like this dividing line between the NASA side and the Air Force side, but it's all on base.
Yep.
In the 80s or 90s, the Air Force changed everything from Launch Complex to Space Launch Complex, but NASA didn't. So anything that's on an Air Force base is SLIC, Space Launch Complex. So up in Vandenberg, it's SLIC 4E, 4W. You've got SLIC 40, SLIC 37, SLIC whatever. But NASA is not on the Air Force base and never changed the name. So if you ever watch like a SpaceX webcast and we refer to the two launch pads, you'll actually see it referred to as Space Launch Complex 40 and Launch Complex 39A.
Cool. Nice.
Fun factoids.
great.
You're welcome, Internet.
I knew the difference between the NASA launch complex, you know, even just badging and stuff like that. You know, you go, they take you into the press center and all that stuff, and you go up through the NASA. But when you do like an Air Force launch, you go down through the Air Force base and all that stuff.
North Gate versus South Gate.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And so I kind of understood that, but I didn't realize the naming, the yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, there's like a line in the sand. Apparently, they're like butting heads a lot in the 80s, I guess, and they just never were able to agree. You can actually tell all the old guys because they'll always refer to it as, you know, LC40, and technically they're wrong. All the signage will say Slick 40.
Yep.
Wow.
That's cool.
Cool.
Dang.
Dumb space nerd facts.
What was your first rocket launch, Ben?
Ooh, I think it was shuttle. Well, yeah, I think it was shuttle.
Which one? Do you remember?
No,
Is this the first one for both of you?
I don't remember.
It was my first one was for Space Vidcast.
I may have seen like a Delta launch.
What was your first Falcon launch?
Shut up. Donna asked what my first Falcon launch was. I have never, and in the foreseeable future, will never be able to see a Falcon launch with my own two eyes. I need to be exactly where the Falcon isn't.
Can I periscope it for you?
Thanks.
Maybe physical periscope.
I'll say. I think my views are slightly better than your views.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
but I will never actually get. I don't have a way to see it with my own two
I'm
eyes.
extremely more envious of your views, even though I like my experience. So.
Yeah, I would take the experience over the views, at least once, right? Because there's
Yeah.
a certain. Every rocket has a different character when it launches, like a different sound and a different profile. Like the shuttle was kind of it launched off the main engines would ignite. You kind of eventually heard that kind of rumble. Then the solids would ignite, and it was this like ripping. It was like ripping through the air. The sound was like, ah! I mean, this vehicle's like, I am going to space. Right?
Yeah.
The crackle, just this like
Yeah.
it's
Percussive.
ripping the air up.
There's the natural crackle, but kind of like you were saying, like the vehicle going through the clouds, that creates like a weird ceiling. The sound bounces off of and comes right back
Yeah.
at you again.
135 was intense.
Yeah.
135, you could actually
No, not
see-
35, 34.
No, 135. That was the lowest cloud cover they had ever had. It was the very
Yeah,
last
you could see
one.
it for like 8 seconds and then
You
it was
see
gone.
It was 135, and it was the very last one, and they had all of the press tents there. It was like the one with everything there, and you could actually see it rippling through the press tents. It was amazing. Yeah,
Really?
there was glass on one of them that was like shaking and shattering like that. It was cool.
Yeah.
I was right
I
up
was-
against the water and the water was like like waves and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
I can't wait
at
for SLS.
It was
the launch-
crazy.
I was at the launch of NROL 35, which was
Was that the octopus hugging the earth?
No, it was not. That was actually the first launch in 4 years that I hadn't been able to go to.
The
out of
octopus hugging the
Vandenberg.
earth?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think that was NROL 39. But 35 was on an Atlas V in the 541 configuration.
Whoa, that's
So
a
it had
big rocket.
4 solids, and it was the largest Atlas they've ever launched out of Vandenberg, and we were 2.5 miles from the pad.
No, that's
and-
the largest Atlas they've ever launched.
No,
that's the largest configuration they've launched.
No, they do a 551.
Yeah, there's 5.
I'm
They
sorry,
do
I
a five
didn't
with-
think
they
I didn't
have
think the
5
solids went up to
solids.
fives.
Yeah,
All right,
that's
never
what
mind.
launched
Yeah.
It's not very recently.
It's that stupid one song.
And it was a night launch, and there had been a storm that was rolling through California at the time, and we were all convinced that it wasn't going to go. But as we kept driving towards Vandenberg, the weather was breaking up, and the clouds were like scattered, and they were really low along the horizon. So as soon as it lit, all the clouds lit up because it was launching at like 8 o'clock at night, and then you could see the clouds. I have video of it, but you can't see it in the video. It was one of those things you had to see in person. You could see the clouds close to the launch pad start to vibrate, and then you could watch the vibration start to travel through the clouds. And they were just like, holy moly, like that's putting out a lot of power. And then eventually the sound hit us, and it's the loudest. It was louder than the Delta IV Heavies that they launched, simply because the Delta IV Heavies are 8 miles away, and there's just really no way to get close to that launch pad. But I remember a friend of mine tapping me on the shoulder and saying, look back, and we were watching the power lines moving back and forth in the acoustical energy, and not just the line, but like the actual like power pole as well, wiggling in it too. And that was just unbelievable. There's no way to describe a rocket launch to people.
You need to experience
Yeah.
each one because
You
each
have to
one
go.
is different, right? The shuttle had that crackle.
Like I
Delta
noticed-
has this like rumble to
Yeah,
it.
the
Like,
Delta
it's
has like a
throat
deepy.
deepy.
It has a smooth. I call it like a really nice, smooth, deep rumble to it. And Atlas V kind of has a little like a pop with it, and then the Falcon 9 just crackles.
I wouldn't know.
Like
Thanks.
it's the Falcon 9 just sounds evil when it's flying, and what's amazing about it too.
Dude, Elon's launching it out of his evil lair.
And what's amazing too is that to me the Falcon 9 sound, you can almost hear like multiple engines crackling with it, you know, as opposed to like the single engine of an Atlas V or the 3 smooth engines of a Delta IV Heavy. And then the Delta II, also, I really like Delta II launches just because they get off of the ground so quick. And they're just like, out of here! You know, they're just like, boom!
One I never
really
got
fun.
to see was the Ares 1X. Like just a single solid stick.
Yeah.
I can only imagine what that sounded, because that's just going to be like, poof,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, was it you guys ever? I didn't realize that Orbital TK's working on producing basically the Ares as the Liberty or something.
Well, they were working
They
on
were.
Liberty.
They were.
Liberty is no longer, but they're working on their new rocket, the new rocket's
Nope,
name from
nope.
Orbital
Nobody
TK.
knows anything. Somebody in the chat room must know.
They have one. It was.
I don't know.
They had a new
I know they're-
they're playing it down. I don't remember its name.
Like a successor to Antares?
Kind of, yes.
But
It's not
but
based
a
on
solid
Liberty.
first stage though, right?
I don't remember anything about it. It was like they mentioned it in passing one time. I thought we did like a quick news segment.
We
on it. I think
probably
I did a
did.
news segment on it.
Yeah.
Maybe
It's
Mike
not a
did the
very
news on it.
Yeah.
It clearly didn't stick.
Yeah. Can I just say I'm really excited to see SLS fly?
Wait, we're not talking about
Wait.
Vulcan.
No.
Okay.
Wait,
that's-
do you think SLS will fly?
Wait, we got. There's
Hang on,
dollar
we gotta
bet
do
here.
it- we gotta do a
There's
bet.
There's a lot at stake. By the way, just so you know, I have a lifetime of steak dinner deal bet with Dave. Every time I mention this bet, it gets bigger. My thing with Dave Maston is I say SLS will light its engines and commit to flight at least once.
Yep.
You think it will fly once?
I remember you guys did a little 1, 2, 3, 5 type of
Yep.
situation.
I'm 2.
I'm 1.
Yeah.
I'm one.
Sign me up.
0.
I think EM1 and the Europa Clipper will fly.
Here's the deal. When I say 0, that means that if they test fire, I still win. It has to leave the launch pad.
No, they have to
Yes.
light the engines with the intention of leaving the launch pad, right? So
Sure.
not a static fire, but like we intended to go.
Right.
Even if it blows up.
Right. So once they light the engines and say we're going to space, even if they lose the vehicle from that moment, it's irrelevant.
Yep.
You've won the bet. They have to.
You have.
Yes.
I've won the bet.
Yeah.
What's the upper limit on time for
That's-
launching?
And I win the
There is
bet.
there is no upper limit.
So then,
so here-
Well, because it's
No,
I was gonna
because
say-
it's specifically space launch systems. So, like, if we were to make the same bet about Constellation, even though SLS is basically Ares 5 and Jupiter Direct merged together, you still don't win. It's not Constellation.
Right.
So, where I could lose, very realistically, where I could lose this bet is we've got a new administration coming in here, and they can just go whack to SLS if they wanted to. But I think they're far enough along where that won't happen once.
I'm gonna say I think 2, but I actually am gonna optimistically say 3. Believe it or not.
Really?
Mostly because we have 12 RS-25 sitting around, and I think they're.
It's not the expensive part, though.
I know it's not, but someone somewhere is gonna go. we need to use those, you know. And so I know I can't do math apparently because, well, 3 times 4, yeah, 3. Didn't even mean to do that. But like I think at some point someone is gonna make just this, even if it doesn't make any sense, they're gonna make a decision and go, well, we have 12 engines, we gotta fly 3 of them.
Here's why you're wrong. Ready? How many
Yeah.
Apollo flights did we fly? Let me ask you this: did we have the
to
hardware for
17?
Apollo 18?
We did.
Yes, we did. Did we fly Apollo 18?
No, we didn't.
Yeah, we went to the moon and we found Nazis, didn't we?
No, that was Apollo 19.
That was Apollo 19.
Which we did have hardware for that too.
Right. Oh, and 20.
And
And
Apollo
20
had hardware as well.
20. That's where we got the Bratzies
Hardware
from.
does not a mission make.
No, it
But,
is not.
but, like when the Mars Base Camp thing, did you guys watch that? Did anyone watch the Lockheed's Mars Base Camp?
I think Ginge went
presentation?
to it. Yeah, I'm pretty
Now,
sure
what's
Ginge was
Lockheed's
there.
Mars Base Camp?
That's their goal for an orbital Mars, kind of like a space station basically, where they can do low latency rover missions and things like that. And that's humans first present on Mars. And actually, you should watch their keynote. It was the day after SpaceX's keynote, so of course it got completely masked by all accords. But it's
here's the thing though: are they bending metal?
they have I'll put it this way: they have a very, very, very realistic and obtainable like outline.
Cool plan. Are they
Right.
bending metal?
Well, they have Orion, which is
Are they bending metal?
They bent Orion.
That's the thing, right?
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
if you're not bending metal, if you're not willing to put your money where your mouth is,
Right,
then I can come up with great plans too.
Right.
But wasn't Orion just basically an offshoot of what was the other one?
Aries and Constellation,
Yeah.
actually.
Wasn't
Well,
Orion?
was
Well,
the
Orion,
portion
yeah.
of Constellation that
Survived.
survived the
The-
most intact, I
Right.
guess is
Yeah.
the way I would
So
put it.
at this moment, Constellation has a test article.
That means Constellation is a test
Kind
article?
of.
Sort of.
The thing is, it survived the most intact, but it did not survive intact from Constellation.
Yeah,
because they had
because-
to tweak it because they had to change the vehicle.
Yeah, because
what I'm
especially-
saying is they've got this program that they've had for what 12 years now.
It feels like 20.
They've had a program for 12
and
years,
all they've got is a test article.
and all they have
Yeah.
is a test article.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Yeah. That's not their fault, though. That's politics. And this, hang on, but that's what I'm getting at is, unless they're actually bending metal, I care less.
Yeah.
And I try to sort of take that same mentality on the shows. We generally try to bring people on the show who are actually bending metal
Right.
and actually have things they can show, or at
or
a minimum,
making
are at the stage where they're about to. Like
Right.
they've got the funding,
Yeah.
they're about to do things. Otherwise, yeah, great, cool. I can come up with really unobtainable plans too.
Right.
Sorry.
But my only thing is that NASA and Lockheed and Boeing are very close. I mean, obviously
Yeah.
they have a long history, and when it comes to the lobbyists and comes to all that stuff, push and shove, and they do want to say, hey, we're going to send people out beyond, send people to Mars eventually. I think Lockheed's plan would get they'd be kind of first on the list. They have a very realistic plan.
Right.
It's very safe. It's very NASA. So if NASA commits to, hey, we want to send people to Mars, I think they'll pretty much ring up their friends at Lockheed Martin, and they'll get the first bid.
Maybe.
And
The
they were
problem is it's
pushing
not
it pretty
NASA's
hard
commitment.
at IAC. Like they were marketing that, like
Oh yeah, the things
was-
on the
it
ground.
was
Like little
everywhere.
stickers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, they're pushing for it.
Yeah, you got to see. The thing is, we're at a point where you got to stop talking about it. You got to just do it.
Do it. Yep.
Yeah.
You got. If
Yeah.
NASA's not going to fund it for you, then fund it yourself.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's the reality that we live in,
Yep.
and that
The
is
age-
not what the big incumbents are used to.
Yeah,
Right.
it's
And I
now,
don't think they can deal with that.
we've
Right.
now moved from an
It's risky.
age of
Yeah.
We've now moved from an age of contracts to the age of initiative in spaceflight, which is that you can't just assume that a contract is going to be given to you anymore.
Or that it will even continue.
Yeah, you have to take the initiative on your own and potentially, very scarily, to some of the companies, spend your own dollars in order to make the things that you want to actually have happen.
Look at actually, I think the best example of the best and worst of this is Sierra Nevada.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right. Those guys.
yeah.
Look at those guys.
Jeez.
Again, I cannot. Dream Chaser.
Yeah.
What a fantastic vehicle. They lost the NASA contracts. They're like, no, there's
We're gonna keep
something
going.
here. We're going to keep
Yeah.
going. That is incredible. And,
On
and
their
they
own
are.
dime.
What they have, what is it?
Well, now the UN is getting involved, and the UN Office of Outer Space Affairs has purchased one flight to be able to use the space on that flight for other nations that don't usually have access to space.
Yeah.
I may be overly optimistic on this, but I believe once they're able to get a vehicle that's flying, the business will flow in behind it.
Yeah.
And maybe that's just me being daydreaming, whatever. But it seems like
No,
once they've
it
got,
is.
they're like, no, seriously, we've got a shuttle. You can send humans or cargo up, and you can get them back
And land it anywhere.
and land it anywhere you want. Who wants a ticket? I think a bunch of college, yeah, exactly, universities, research agencies, governments are going to be like, oh yeah, no, I got things I could send up on that. I think even NASA may come around someday. We'll be like, oh, could you just send some stuff up to the cargo
Well,
station really quick?
They're doing that. They won the cargo contract for Sierra Nevada. So
Oh, that's right. They did
Yeah.
win just cargo.
Yeah.
yeah,
that's
Just
cargo.
cargo.
But still, that means that there's initiative there for the
Yeah.
vehicle to actually be built and flown.
And they did that all after they had lost their contract, and
Yeah.
that I think that's incredible, and
And
that's
also-
good.
Also, Sierra Nevada does have hardware.
I know,
well.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they're
They
bending
have-
metal.
yeah.
This is we need to cover this vehicle more on the show. It's an incredible vehicle. They're bending metal. They're putting their money where their mouth is. This is exactly what's right about new space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I have another debate with you guys that I've wanted to have for a long time?
Sure.
But it is Atlantis. It is the best.
No, it's in
You're
Denver,
absolutely
but
right.
It's-
The Epcot ball is gray.
So I'm gonna get my little 2 cents in about the difference. We had the debate recently about solids versus liquid, right?
Okay.
And how someone kind of goes, well, solids are less likely to fail. There's fewer moving parts, right?
Yep.
But they are more dangerous in the sense that you can't shut them off, obviously, right? That was kind of the pros
I
and
take
cons.
issue with the more dangerous. You can't shut them off, and that is
That's true.
dangerous.
Right.
What I take issue with is that doesn't make them more dangerous.
Right.
That just makes them dangerous in a different way.
In a different way, yes.
Actually, I was about to say, Ben and I did have a debate between each other in line for Space Mountain about
all
this,
debates
and
happen.
it did. And Ben brought up a lot of really great points.
I
about
compelled
that.
you to the dark side.
Not fully to the dark
Mostly
side.
to the dark side.
Mostly to the dark side, as if I already wasn't on the dark side.
Wait, which one's the dark side?
Solids.
To me, the dark side is solids.
Wait,
Everyone thinks solids are evil, bad things.
yeah, and you think they're
I do not.
okay?
I think
yes,
there's
okay,
an engineering.
good,
But
yes.
my thing with solids, no, solids are incredible, and you have to know when and where to use them.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are like, oh, you can't put humans on them. I'm like, no. You just have to engineer it correctly,
Yes.
and you're fine. There are a lot of really great things about solids that they're not inherently more or less dangerous.
Right.
They're just dangerous in different
Different
ways.
ways.
But we're so terrified of the ways in which they're dangerous.
So, here's what made me think solids are neat. Is actually the worst program of all time, the Ares. If you think about,
By the way, we never flew an Ares rocket.
we flew a Ares mock-up-y little solid
That-
stick with a
No,
thing on
no.
it.
we didn't. We did
No.
not. That was an Ares rocket was a 5-segment solid rocket booster
Yeah.
with what was the upper stage?
With a J2X
Well, sure,
upper
right.
stage.
Well, we flew with a space shuttle booster, which is a 4-segment
Four-segment
stage,
stage.
which is not 5
Five
segments, with a dummy
Yep.
dummy thingy thing
Yep.
up top, with avionics from a totally different vehicle. We never flew Ares.
Well, it cost
That was-
1.3 billion or something.
Ares
right?
1, it was Ares 1X, right?
Yes.
Ares 1X was
1X.
basically just a, oh, please don't cancel this.
yeah, that's
We'll
That's
show you some-
essentially what it was.
Yeah.
But
It was
but
Look,
just
we got a
a,
test article. We can fly it. I think we can get a Atlas navigation
system.
software and there's a space shuttle booster we can use.
I will say that if you're going for this point, the point of solids are horrible, they'll never work, you can't put humans on top of them. Ares did prove that wrong.
Well, and so what I was going to say, I think
Ares
the only
1X, I'm
real
sorry.
inherent danger with a solid is not that it's suddenly going to just.
No, that happens.
They leak. Do they just
Yeah.
completely?
There's
kaboom?
oh yeah, there's a fantastic video. It's a Delta 2.
Yeah.
Delta 2, yeah.
Delta
Yeah.
2. Oh my God, it is. That's exactly what it does.
The solid itself actually
Just
went
goes
kaboomy.
boom.
Yeah, one of
And
the
it
solids,
rains solid
um,
fuel onto the launch site.
the way a solid
Oh,
works
yeah.
is that you're burning the surface area
Right,
inside of it, and if you have too much surface area, it generates too much pressure.
If,
And
if you have
can blow the
cracks
casing.
in the
Oh, yeah.
propellant,
If you have cracks in the
or if you
propellant,
haven't removed all of the air,
or if you haven't
air
removed
pockets
all of the
from
air
propellant,
pockets from the propellant,
once the flame front gets
once
to
the flame
that
front gets
surface
to that
area,
surface area,
you get
you get
an incredible spike.
incredible
in
spike
the pressure
in the
of
pressure.
casing.
yeah, actually, come over here, Donna. What are you doing over there?
Yeah.
If you reach that surface area and you'll get an incredible spike of the pressure inside
Yeah,
the casing,
yeah.
and you can actually
blow the
overpressurize
casing.
the casing and blow the rocket
'Cause
or
The
vehicle,
failures that
whatever.
I've ever seen are obviously the famous ones, like Challenger
Yeah,
and
there
things
you
like
go.
that, where it you know, it breaks the dynamic seal and just go. And if there wasn't an external fuel tank right there to have it ignite,
Probably would have
it probably would have been fine.
Yes.
You know, even if the seal broke on the other end.
Yeah, this is the Delta II from 1997.
Oh, there you go.
It had a GPS satellite on it.
Watch this, it's epic.
Here comes the crack.
And now the internet is silent as we watch us
Kapammy.
watch this.
Now, here's the big problem with solids.
Still
That
on
will
fire.
Continue to burn
Right.
until it is expended. It is about to rain fire back down on the launch pad and everything
man.
nearby.
Oh man.
Yeah, it burned out cars. Everyone had to shelter in place.
They call this Delta Vesuvius, right?
Whoa.
Look at that!
Look at that.
This is
No,
like
you
Game
don't
of Thrones
have
kind of
that.
footage.
You don't have that kind of thing. Like
Liquid,
that doesn't
yeah.
happen with a liquid. It's all gonna it's gonna combust up in the air.
Whoa.
It will outgas rapidly.
Yeah. I mean, but the event will, depending upon how high up you were. If you were that high up with a liquid engine, I mean, you'd probably still have stuff falling to Earth, but it wouldn't be things falling to Earth on fire and continuing to burn until they've expended all of their fuel.
This is a great view of it from like a public viewing site.
Yeah, I guess
Somewhere.
I always just thought that like, oh, if a solid fails, it's gonna breach one of the dynamic seals or whatever. And as long as you don't have something else for that to catch on fire, it could probably be fine. You know, but
That actually happened on shuttle multiple times before Challenger.
Yeah.
They
Yes.
had solid breaches.
no way.
Oh yeah.
And it just went out and didn't hit the
It didn't
external
hit
fuel tank
anything.
or,
Yeah.
or the
They,
wings or
they
anything.
had O-ring breaches. Yeah.
In fact, they
Wow.
had to redesign the O-ring seal
Yep.
a number of times in order to be able to better contain it.
The shuttle. I can't believe the shuttle didn't have an abort capability, like an actual like where the whole cockpit just goes.
The biggest problem with shuttle was its side-mounted design.
Yeah.
If it was a top-mounted design, like every modern spacecraft being built today, they potentially would have been fine.
A lot of
Challenger and Columbia wouldn't have happened.
I want to say
Yeah.
a lot of the
Yeah.
design. We actually used to at the old place I worked at used to have an exhibit about the evolution of the design of the space shuttle, and basically every bad
Yeah.
decision that was ever made was because the U.S. Air Force
Force.
wanted something different
Yep.
than what NASA wanted, and the Air Force kind of won out in every decision
Do you
making.
know why the Air Force won out?
Money.
They had the money. They
Yeah.
paid for it.
Yeah, they did.
Actually, it wasn't the Air Force. It was Department of Defense,
That's
wasn't it?
pretty.
Big firework.
Yeah.
Anyhow, that's what happened. Yeah,
Jeez, instant.
yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Instantaneous.
So,
Oh, there's
Wow.
the footage. This is
but my
favorite
whole
one.
point with solids is that they have
my
their
gosh.
place from an energy density standpoint. They're
Right.
epic.
And
so
inexpensive
they're-
in relative terms.
And the other thing is you can have them sitting on the pad fairly. I mean,
That's
technically,
basically my
they
worst
could-
nightmare out at Vandenberg.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah, you need to
it's-
run.
Yeah, I've been told multiple times by people out there that like if a rocket lets go, then put the get in the car, recycle the air,
Biohazard mode.
floor it through
That's
through
actually
the city.
that's another legit
So-
issue against solids is that like on the space shuttle you had the space shuttle main engines, you had liquid hydrogen, liquid oxygen, and that cloud that you saw behind the shuttle was basically a cloud of water.
Yeah.
Mixed with the cloud from the solids, which was a toxic.
Yes.
I forgot what it was.
Hydrochloric acid.
Sure.
Yeah,
and it would
basically.
all mix together. And then at the press site, for anyone who was ever there at the press site, if that cloud started coming towards the press site, they would actually start moving the press away because
man.
you don't want to get caught in that.
Wow.
Yeah, when we go to watch launches at Vandenberg, they tell us to point our cars towards the outbound direction, so that if we need to get in our cars, we don't have to like do this 3-point turn on a narrow road to get
Yeah.
the heck out.
That's what always makes me nervous about the 2 SpaceX launches
Oh
I've
my
gone
gosh.
to.
Too many people.
Is that there's so many people out there.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's the leftover of some guy's pickup truck. Glass
But to-
literally
But
melted
to be
into
fair,
the truck.
we have examples of this same kind of damage with chemical rockets.
Exactly.
So
Yeah,
it's not
sure
it's
do.
not that it's more dangerous. It's dangerous in a different way.
Different
And you just have to understand the dangers from an engineering standpoint and develop your rocket using the proper technologies.
Yes.
What about hybrids then? Are they the best of both or the worst
Actually,
of
the
both?
worst of both.
The worst.
Yes.
You look at the hybrid motor on the Spaceship 1, Spaceship 2. That thing's nasty.
Yeah.
It's like the worst of all worlds. That I am personally convinced, although we haven't had anyone on to talk about this, that is why they're testing and moving more towards traditional chemical engines for most of their stuff.
Yeah. Hybrid motors are just they're
Nasty.
horrendous. So
That's so crazy. My favorite thing ever is that picture from the space shuttle out at Vandenberg. That is like that photo
Oh my
series.
god, it's
Yeah.
so beautiful with the rolling
It's
hills. And
just
it has the red
gorgeous.
structure instead of like
Yes.
the. Oh my god, it is gorgeous.
It looks so villainous.
Would you
for
say
some
that it's
reason,
hugging
or-
the mountains?
I would say it's hugging the mountains. Why am I saying it's hugging the mountains?
Where was that the phrase?
What?
Last night you were editing.
Oh my god.
Oh, I don't remember what it was.
It was something like that, yeah.
Webcast.
Oh yeah.
I
It was
doing
full of
that.
that's what
What
she
was it?
said.
I was doing edits, and it was like this perfect "that's what she said" moment. And
But there was like a couple of them right in a
what
row.
happened, it happened because of the edit, because they did
Right.
their own edit. And I'm like, I don't like this edit, so I went back and re-edited and she like it was the parachutes inflating. She's like, it's fully inflated now. I think followed by.
Now you have to catch your breath as you're surrounded by.
Oh my
Well,
gosh.
yeah, so we cut
But it was-
from the verbiage was we cut from that, and then we cut like 2 minutes out, and the next phrase was something like, as she glides, as the vehicle glides gracefully between the mountains, or
It was the three of
God,
us
this
were
is
dying
awful.
laughing last
We
night.
actually edited that out because
We had to
I
take it
couldn't-
out.
I couldn't. Those two back to back. I'm like, that's not going to be a thing. We can't have that. Yeah,
No, that's bad.
Yep.
That's funny.
it was hilarious. All right, are we winding down?
Yeah.
After dark done.
Yeah.
This was a fun.
Alrighty.
So what? So you say 2 flights of SLS, and solids are not bad. They're just different.
I say I'm going with 3 flights of SLS.
Oh, that's right. 3
Yep,
flights,
three
of,
flights
SLS.
of SLS.
Solids
and,
aren't bad. They're just different.
Yep. That's where I stand on these issues.
All right.
The important issues. in
What
life.
are the other important space issues?
Atlantis.
Atlantis.
Oh, yeah. Your favorite
yeah.
orbiter was Atlantis.
Well,
Atlantis.
no, I
Right.
I,
That's what we heard. And,
Right, you could only afford scrap from
Oh,
Discovery
oh.
because she's a diva. No, it's
Oh,
fine.
Wait. Hang on. The new debate is Pluto a planet?
it's of course it's a dwarf planet. It's classified as a dwarf planet.
Right, planet's still in the title, so
Because-
planet.
Because
It's a dwarf planet.
It's a
because
planet.
because
It's not a major planet.
If
Dwarf people are still people.
But if
They
we
are,
but if we
they're
call
not major people.
if we
We
start
always-
calling Pluto
Saw that.
She's still people. It's still a planet.
But if we call Pluto a planet, we're gonna have to start calling about 10,000 other things planets, and I don't
okay
have
with
room
that.
for that on a
Thank you.
poster.
Thank you.
No.
What's my
By
poster
the
gonna
way-
look like?
by the
Like
way,
Elon's slide.
Last week,
Yeah.
who the heck last week had the audacity to say that Jupiter and Saturn are failed stars? Who said that?
Oh my God, that was
Is
hilarious.
that Mike?
said
That was
that?
Mike.
It was
That
either Mike or
Mike.
Ginge.
Who said
It was
that?
Mike.
Somebody said that.
It was
Probably
That's
Mike.
wrong. You need 10 times the mass of Jupiter to even think about getting nuclear fusion started. So, no. I actually checked that at work this week.
They failed a lot
It's
though.
wrong.
They failed real bad.
They
But
failed
they're
real
not
hard.
even close to being
Just an
failed
order of
stars.
magnitude.
They're just like really
They were
bigger.
trying.
They're larger planets.
Yeah, they're pretty big.
Well, are they
So-
though? Because they seem to be different than the other things.
Yes.
Right? They're
Well,
gaseous
see,
instead of.
this is
so
where-
now,
this is
so
an
now,
area-
if you're going to take Pluto out, you need
So
to
look-
take Saturn and Jupiter out
Well,
too.
this
in
isn't-
a
And
different upper
Neptune.
class.
This is an area where we agree, which is that the classification of planets is not exactly as good as it should be. So
I'll buy that.
Yes.
So I'm going to say actually I'm going to revise my argument. I'm actually
Yes.
okay with you removing removing Pluto, but then you also need to remove Saturn and Jupiter.
And I absolutely am totally fine with that because one of my coworkers came up with a really great idea, which is that when we look at when you look at how biologically things are sorted into their species and stuff like that, we think that should be the model for how things are classified throughout the universe, especially when it comes to planets. So you should have I don't know what the order is with everything, but it's like what is it, family, order, as I show off my amazing
Kingdom,
biology.
phylum, class, order, family, genus, species.
There you go. So
Dad.
something very nicely done. Something like that for planets.
Yes.
So so we both can agree on that.
You want to know how I think it should be?
But right now, hang on. Right now, so we can agree on that. But right now, they're basically like, yeah, that's great. Except Pluto's not a planet, but Jupiter and Saturn still are.
Yeah, but that has to do more with mass ratios than it does with composition.
Blah blah
So-
blah. All right,
Here we go.
what's your
Here we go.
favorite?
You have a star or a sun or whatever.
Burning
Anything
thing.
that orbits that, we could call that a planet.
Sure.
Period. That's what its phylum is or whatever. I
Okay.
don't know. Anything that orbits around that thing is then a moon of that
Are we
planet.
saying that Pluto doesn't orbit our star?
So that's why I'm saying Pluto and even all the asteroid objects could be kind of considered planets. planets, and then you just say like, we need to now clarify like, we maybe need a different word for planet,
Like big planet, medium planet,
or like
little
rocky,
planet.
like
Extra large
like a
planet,
rocky
super planet.
rocky life guy, a gassy
Got a
time friend,
Well, we have
and then like I mean, you know what I mean? Because
Well,
then we could break them
actually-
down from there.
You know,
Even
gassy
asteroids
time
and
friends.
comets and things, you know?
No, that's true. Creating a file in class, like that actually would work.
I think that
in
this
that
is-
way.
I think once we're able to start resolving exoplanets, that's when this is all going to start happening. Because we know there's exoplanets out there that are like 5 to 6 times the size of Jupiter that are orbiting their stars every 2 to 3 days, which makes complete no sense in the terms of physics of formation of systems and things like that. At least with what they're doing right now, there's people who have developed models that show you can do that, but it's still very much like how exactly did you do that? So I feel like once we have the technology to start really resolving and actually being able to see exoplanets and looking at their compositions and their surfaces and their orbits and tilts and inclinations and all the other, once we can gather all of these facts about exoplanets, that is really when we're going to start looking at what the classification of planet should actually be.
Then we can declassify Pluto. But until then,
No, it's already been done.
It's been done.
Ben, it's
Alright.
been that way for 10 years.
Somebody,
Has it really been
So
10 years
It
already?
has
Yeah.
been 10 years.
You've been wrong for 10 years?
somebody has to hit a button.
Oh, yeah. We're
So-
done. We're out.
Yeah.
Goodbye,
Thank you, everyone. I
Internet.
hope you enjoyed
All
the
right.
show.
Bye,
Thank you,
everybody.
Tim.
I'm
Or
going
if
back
call
to
him accidentally
Australia. I
often,
won't see you
Todd.
anymore.
Don't call me Todd. Everyday astronaut's fine.
EA.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
We have to wave a lot.
I'm just gonna keep waving.